Dak Prescott's in a walking boot. You can see him right here. You'll have to forgive me. Your boy Smitty's got 104 or 101.4 temperature, and we're trying to break that fever. And so you have to bear with me today, but we're here doing it live. There's no days off. There's no days off. Stop with the days off, okay? We buckle our pants. You know what I'm saying? We pull up our pants. We roll up our sleeves. We buckle our sleeves. We do it live. We stay liquid. We stay fluid. Okay, here's Dak. Dak's walking with this walking boot here. Are we concerned? We're going to talk about that. There's some reports, initial reports that suggest this is minor. They do this a lot of the time if there's some sort of issue and they catch it early, and it's like one of those things where like, hey, just wear a walking boot for like 5 days and you'll be fine. So there's some, not to ruin the breaking news piece of this, but it does seem like it's going along that line of thinking. We got Bijan news. We got London news. We're doing, your boy Smitty's doing the flu game. Buckle your pants. roll up your pants. Buckle your pants. Stay liquid. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Live from the fantasyfootballshow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the fantasyfootballshow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Doing it live. Happy 4th of July, everybody. We are here. I don't know how long I'll last. I'll just be honest with you. I may last an hour and a half. I may last 25 minutes. I have no idea. Right now, I feel okay. I'm sitting. Can't stand for very long. I've got 101 something. Goes back and forth. 102 to 99.99. It jumps back and forth, but definitely in the red. Appreciate you all being here. Dak Prescott in a walking boot. Everybody's freaking out. He's trying to get a contract extension, and here's this guy walking in a boot. I believe this is 4th of July, right? I think this is today. Dak Prescott spotted here in a protective walking boot. He's dealing with the very minor foot sprain, and has been that he's had for a few days. It's not considered to be anything that should affect his preparation for 2024. And then there's this report by Schefter, if anybody wants to hear again that it's minor. Schefter also suggesting that it is a minor injury. And again, like if somebody's had like foot problems in the past, and remember Dak essentially like broke his ankle, they're going to be protective with it. They're going to put him in a boot. The boot protects him. It really does help you heal very fast. So I'm not too concerned with this. We'll kind of monitor the situation, but it's going to have a lot of people talking about CeeDee Lamb. I think the impact to Dak is significant. Like if you're drafting tonight or tomorrow, I don't know that we'll be here tonight at midnight. I highly doubt tonight. I might need one more night off, but if you do hit that link that's pinned in the live chat, Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty, if you want to draft with us at midnights, I'll drop, please remind me when we're leaving. I'll drop I keep saying this and then nobody reminds me. I'll drop a private league link when I leave here so that we can all join a private league. Actually, I can do it right now. That way we don't forget. But when we're drafting on Underdog, I do expect there to be some sort of drop for Dak Prescott value-wise, right? But I more so think this could tip the scales a little bit in terms of Lamb being that 1.1. I think that 1.2. So CMC going 1 traditionally. Almost all the time he's going 1. Lamb's been going 2. He's been usually the first receiver off the board. Now I think Tyreek Hill and Jamar Chase start entering the conversation for a lot of people. And I don't think it moves Lamb down past number 3 or 4. But it's something that's going to, I think, scare enough people, enough worried Williams out there that they're going to be like, hey, I think I better go in a different direction with my number 2 overall pick. So that's kind of my gut feeling here. Here's the link to that private draft. Here we go. Join my $3 private draft. $20 goes to first place. This is like a way to like mock draft, but try and win $20. It's $3 an entry. It's just so much better than doing mock drafts. It's like you're doing real drafts to try out strategies. They're $3 each, And more than likely, if you're any good, you're going to get your money back at the end of it all. Think about it. You win a $20 league out of, 3, 6, 9, 12. Like, by the time you play 5 or 6, you should win one of them, and you're going to get your money back. Every time you play 5 or 6 drafts, you're going to win your money back. So it's like an amazing way. And then what if you have a massive season and you smash everybody? Like last year, I had like $500 injected into my account when the season ended from these private league drafts. I don't know how much I spent. I'm not trying to say I smashed everyone. I'm just saying I was not expecting anything. I forgot about these private league drafts, and then $500 deposited right into my account. What the hell, Smitty? You need to take care of yourself. I am. This is how I take care of myself, Ron. I can't. The 8 p.m. show is non-negotiable. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. West Coast time is non-negotiable. Appreciate you, though. Ron to the moon, $20 holler. Forgive me if I don't stand today.
Alert. Super chat alert.
It is hard to stand, I'll tell you that. So thank you, Ron. Appreciate the $20 holler. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Ron Navy, everyone. Ron Mother freaking Navy. The man that eats steak every night. At least 6 nights a week, this man's eating a T-bone, a filet, a ribeye, you name it. What's this? Define this. Who's this? Is this a hater? Smitty's logic. Buy lottery tickets and surely one will win. Shaking my head. Really? Define this? Elaborate, if you will. All right. Sorry, pal. Sorry you feel that way. No one's asking you to watch. Why are you in here? I'm doing my flu game here, and you're in here trying to heckle me? I don't think so. Not today, pal. Not today. See you later. I had a lot of success with those little $3 and $5 and $10 drafts. I basically just view them as a way to recoup. Yeah, it's a way to mock draft, bro. It's really, really fun. Okay, so Dak Prescott, we're not too worried. That's the current news and vibe I have. I'm not too worried. Not too worried about I'm sorry. I'm not too worried about it. I think CeeDee Lamb's value gets attacked just a little bit. Attacked like me. God, that Karen at the airport. I blame Karen. That Karen got me sick. She got me sick. She crop dusted me with a bunch of coughs like that sprinkler. Right in front of my path. Shot it up in the air. She didn't even shoot it down or into her elbow. She shot it up in the air and then walked through it. And it just came right into me like a wave. And we're in line handing tickets. I had nowhere to go. There's people behind me shoving me forward. Like at the car wash. You're in line at the car wash. You can't get out. You're in a single file line on the tracks going. And Karen crop dusts me. And the people behind me are shoving me forward as I'm handing my ticket and they're scanning him. Deep. 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 Damn, Karen. I hate traveling. I hate traveling. I despise traveling. Leaving my studio and my home, my little abode. I go for food. I go for a run. Very short trips. I'm a hermit, and I don't care. It doesn't make me sad. It doesn't make me. I love staying at home. I love it. Nothing makes me more happy. You know, some people like to travel. Not me. Not me. I hate traveling. I can't stand it. I don't want to go anywhere. Happy Independence Day, folks. God bless. Thank you, Superfish, for dropping the $2 hauler. Thank you, Ron Navy, for dropping the $20 hauler. You're absolutely both gems on this channel. Thank you, Wild Bill. Appreciate you. Damn Karen. Yeah, hit that thumb up button. We got 29 thumbs up. Your boy Smitty's hawking up along. Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, so let's get on over to the next piece of news. Bijan. There's a lot of reports on Bijan. This has been kind of going rampant lately. Bijan Robinson has worked on his... Let's see if we can move this above everything. I got it buried behind here. Bijan Robinson has worked on his pass catching this offseason, and his cuts have been tremendous. Robinson is being thought to be a sleeper for MVP. Everybody's catching up. We're conducting this train. I've been conducting this train since before the NFL draft, way before the NFL draft. A good half a year to a year before the NFL draft. And you know, I know a lot of people want to get on board. Just look at this man. He looks like the NFL MVP. I mean, he you know, some players just look absolutely like a top 5 to 10 overall talent. He looks the part. You see this man and you go, this guy's running for 2,000 yards, or he's going to have 2,200 total yards, or whatever the hell the case may be. Here's the interesting point about this report, which, who knows what's coming from where and what's totally accurate and whatnot. But we hear one thing from the coaching staff, right? That we're going to run the ball. We're going to make him a running back first. He says, I want to run for 2,000 yards. You can balk at that all you want. You can laugh at that all you want. I don't care. I'm not saying he's going to run for 2,000 yards. I'm hoping he doesn't, because I'd rather him divide some of his workload into less impacting, less hit-taking workload, right? Like receptions. Give him 450 to 600 yards receiving and offset those attempts into some glorious reception work where he's getting absolutely taken care of. Let's see here. So I feel like we're hearing mixed signals, but it's all production. Is he going to run more than ever? Is he going to pass like we always thought? Look, you go back to last offseason when I said he was going to be the number one overall running back in 2023. I was wrong. I take my lap. I don't even feel bad about taking my lap because I know I was right. From a talent perspective, all of you who thought that as well were correct. We got Arthur Smith. We got absolutely blasted by Arthur Smith. He absolutely took us to the cleaners on last season. But he still was running back 9. He still earned you a respectable amount of points that when people say, oh, yeah, you probably lost your league because your Bijan take, Smitty. I didn't. Any league I won had Bijan on it. Any contest where I was blowing up and having a massive, ending to the season even, and getting in the finals on underdog, all those things, I had Bijan in a majority of those teams. So don't act like Bijan took you out. Bijan could have been the icing on the cake, the absolute thing that pushed you over the edge, but he wasn't. And that's on me, and I take my lap. But I believe I was early. I believe anybody that believes he's running back 1 this year was early last year. And there's some PTSD where people don't want to get on board. But Bijan Robinson, ladies and gentlemen, Bijan Robinson has been talked about as becoming run heavy. 2,000 yards is his goal. Again, not saying he'll do that. Then other reports say he's going to catch a bunch of passes. They're going to use him all over the field. Then you hear a report where Bijan says, I want to be used, and I think I'll be used by Christian McCaffrey. Ton of receiving work, ton of rushing work. And then the coaching staff confirms that and says, yeah, Zach Robinson, yeah. Hey, what he said about being Christian McCaffrey, I think that's an awesome way to look at it, basically, is what Zach Robinson said. So we've heard mixed signals about what he's going to do. All you can remember probably right now, reflect back to last offseason. All the highlights in the preseason, what were they? Receptions, touchdowns, touchdown catches. We already know he could be the number 1 running back in the National Football League between the tackles. I think Kyren and Bijan go neck and neck all year long for the rushing title. That's my expectation. I think that Kyren and Bijan are the best candidates to win the rushing title in 2024. And I think the crazy part is that his receptions will not be affected. Every highlight you saw from last offseason and a touchdown reception in practice, it was a reception. It was a reception. This guy is one of the most phenomenal receiving running backs in the National Football League. He says he's going to be used like CMC, and his coach confirms he's going to be used like CMC. He says he wants to run for 2,000 yards. I'm not saying he will. His mindset is elite right now. It's not like last year where he's like, yes, Arthur Smith. Yes, sir. You want to bench me? Yes, sir. He's finally showing some grit. Like I set Bijan on a lap last year because he didn't have the hunger. Like, hey, Arthur, put me in. Like, get a little bit of diva. Get a little bit of that mentality. Be entitled to some carries. Why is he playing this like, oh, yes, sir, yes, sir? He'd say very grateful on his Instagram stories after the game when he get like 4 carries. And I sent him on a lap. This is tough love. I still love Bijan to the moon. I'm just saying. I sent him on a lap. He needed to get hungry. And this offseason, his comments are showing he's hungry. His work ethic is to the moon. He's out there doing amazing things. As this report says, his cutting has been unbelievable in the receiving game. And we all know that his running ability is right there with the top players in the National Football League. So, there we go. Karen over Kyren. Definitely. Look, Kyren's going to the moon. Keep doubting Kyren, you poor souls. You poor souls. You absolute poor souls. And no one's saying that Achan and Kyren aren't equals. But Okay, Achane's doing big things. He's doing big things in a reception and rushing combination type of thing. Kyron's going to pull in way more passes. You know what Kyron's going to do? Kyron Williams, people don't really realize this about Kyron. He's a great receiving back that was underutilized last year. This guy right here was on pace, if you take his 12 games where he scored 15 touchdowns in 12 games, 12 rushing touchdowns in 12 games, and extrapolate that data across 17 games, he ran for 620 and 21 TDs. I think he very much, with an increase in receiving production to the tune of 150 to 200 yards, 1 or 2 receiving touchdowns added to his docket, a good 15, 20 receptions additional. This guy's going to be a PPR gem finally, and that's going to protect him too, keep him in a position like Bijan. We want Bijan catching 500 yards, 600 yards so that he's not getting all of his hits between the tackles with 10 massive blows to him while he's running, 10 people jumping on his back, including his own players. You know, sometimes those piles have like literally 8 to 10 guys smashing him into the ground. You don't want that for Kyron on all of his work. You don't want that for Bijan on all of his work. You want him out in the flat, catching a football, getting hit by 1 or 2 guys, making a juke and getting kind of dragged down, barely any wear and tear. We want that for Kyron. We want that for Bijan. That's why we don't want a 2,000-yard season. You also can't have the most magnificent receiving stats if you're running for 2,000 yards because you're constantly busy. Hit that thumb up button on the way in the door. Appreciate you all. What else we got? London, there was a report. I don't even know where I put everything all over the place. For those that don't know, Saquon Barkley, people are just missing the boat on this kid. I've talked to several scouts around the league. This is from Jeremy Fowler, ESPN, who believe that Saquon Barkley could have that Christian McCaffrey impact in Philly. This is what we've been saying all offseason long. People are finally catching up. I'm glad to see you're late to the party, Fowler. But we've already spoke on this. We've already cemented that in. Okay, Aiyuk. There's no update on Aiyuk. You can't afford a Lamborghini. You can't have one. The last meeting between the Niners and Aiyuk apparently did not go well. According to NFL Network, the 49ers and Brandon Aiyuk are no closer to a deal. That was the most recent report. You'll have Niner fans telling you different because they're omitting this report. They're ignoring it. Go to a Niner page. See if they're talking about this. They'll report positive stuff, but this right here, most people aren't reporting on. This is the most recent news report. No one's talking about it. They're trying to. It's like they're trying to control the narrative. I don't know why you don't just be honest with the narrative. Jacob says he wants to be. He says, first of all, Jacob says that Jordan Love's going to be an elite quarterback in the league. He also says the sky's the limit for the offense, and Jacobs is one of the oldest players on the team. He's going to have a phenomenal year. It's why he's a Mars man extraordinaire. More on Saquon Barkley. We talked about it yesterday. He's got $4.5 million in incentives. This man, if he gets 2,000 total yards rushing and receiving, gets $250,000 on top of another $250,000 for hitting that 1,500-yard mark. So 2,000 yards total rushing receiving gets him $500,000. Pro Bowl, $250,000. First team All-Pro, $500,000. Super Bowl appearance or Super Bowl win, half a $250,000. It's just amazing. This is what's going to drive Saquon Barkley. Okay, where's my London report? Damn it, I'm so out of it. I don't even know where my London. I think it's right here. Yeah, here it is. The faster we can play, the more efficient we can play. Hopefully, the more points we have. Falcons wide receiver coach Ike Hilliard told a reporter. Drake London reiterated Hilliard's objective, saying that ball is going to be in the air. Slow feet don't eat. I love that mentality Drake London has. If anybody thinks Drake London can't be a top 6 to 10 wide receiver, you're in la la land. And I don't know why you're in Haterville. If you're sitting here going, Drake London, I don't like him. How can he be? He's the number 1 wide receiver for an offense that you just saw what Kirk Cousins can do. He can feed everyone. And if he doesn't work out, they've got Penix Jr. And if Penix Jr. doesn't work out, they can go back to Kirk Cousins if they do something weird like that. This is the safest running back or quarterback room in the National Football League with Kirk Cousins and Penix Jr. I don't understand how people aren't excited about his second-round value. I don't get it. I know you don't like that he's climbed, but it is what it is. All right. Lamb 1.1. A lot of Lamb 1.1s today, says Runner. Well, you might not see that as this news on Dak gets digested. We'll see. We'll see. Man, this flu is freaking wiped me out. I'm hitting a wall. I'm hitting a rookie wall right now. That's this thick. I thank God I'm sitting. I think I'd pass out. Drake London is one of the best receivers in the National Football League in contested catches. Just is. The stats prove it. And he had Ritter throwing him the ball. And then a hater might say, well, the reason he's so good at contested catches is because he can't get open. So the ball needs to be thrown in contested, congested areas, which is not true. Ritter was his quarterback. What more do I need to explain to you? DJ or Danny Dimes over in New York, you're going to blame everybody involved in that situation on not getting the ball. Oh, he's not a good route runner. Danny Dimes sucks. Danny Dimes is garbage. He has never had a top 30 wide receiver. So you can't expect the world from a wide receiver. We did expect the world to a degree. But now we can truly, truly, and highly invest in this guy in a second-round capacity because he has quarterback glory locked in, the safest QB room in fantasy football. That's all the news. That's all the news. Phone lines are open. I don't know how long I'll be here. I showed up so I don't get fined. That's all. Let me open the phone lines. Dial into the show.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial into the show brought to you by the Addict Shop. Oh. I need this fever to break. My pillow was absolutely soaked when I woke up this morning. I barely slept, but I did sleep through the day, so I didn't sleep at all during the nighttime. I slept a lot during the day, on and off, restless. There's nothing worse than restless sleep, where you're going back and forth. You have the worst repetitive nightmare dreams. It's like something stupid, like you're in a pumpkin patch or something. You're just walking around a pumpkin patch, just over and over and over. That's the one that I had when I was a kid, and I still remember it to this day. The biggest nightmare I've ever had was running around a pumpkin patch, and I couldn't get out. Last night, I don't remember what the repetitive dream is, but whenever I have the flu, I have the worst repetitive dreams, and I can't get out of them. And then I wake up, and it sucks. Let's go over to Ron Navy, you're live, then over to Travis. Mute yourself, Harvest, mute yourself. It sounds like we got a kindergarten going on in the background. All right, go ahead, Ron.
Oh, I know all about those repetitive dreams when you don't feel good. I had them myself.
I hate those. It's the worst. There's nothing worse. I literally, you want to just bang your head against the wall until it all ends. It's the worst.
What are you drinking?
Vitamin water. It's the only thing I can drink. That and water. I can't even drink Mexican Cokes right now. I don't know.
You got electrolytes in it?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
You need to make sure that you get electrolytes in you.
Yeah. What can I do for you, Ron?
Tylenol.
What can I do for you, pal?
Keep hydrated. No, what can I do for you? That's the question.
What do you think happened? You think this is probably a nothing burger with Dak, but you never know. I mean, he had that massive foot injury. But, protective boots. You can come out of a game wearing a protective boot, and everyone's like, he's fine. He's just wearing it to get him a little bit healthier for the next week. It happens a lot. So I don't think it's a big deal. I also think, kind of my thinking here is if it was a big deal, he wouldn't be out in public with it. You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of carefree right now. He's got all the balls in his court. He's got the world by the balls. He's got a no franchise tag, no trade clause. Teams will be clamoring over him in the offseason. Kirk Cousins proved you can get injured and still get the biggest deal you could possibly get, even healthy or hurt. So it's not like a running back gets injured, tears his ACL, and then he's not going to get his deal. He'll get it no matter what. And I think he's probably not hiding this because it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. If it was something, he'd be hiding it. I think. That's just my take. So I'm not worried about it. But it's definitely something to monitor. We just don't know. It could be something small, and then the reason he's feeling it is because there's something that's not going to go away. I don't know. You can't know for sure.
Yeah, well, remember Mahomes when he hurt his ankle in the playoff games, and he was in a walking boot and still came out and played. So
yeah, it's just it's
Won
like
it's
an accelerating healing, mechanism. So everybody needs to relax. I don't think it's a big deal.
4th of July, though, bro. Happy 4th of July.
Yeah, happy 4th, everybody. Travis, you're live. Let me go around the phone line real quick. Travis, what's up?
Hey, so for now you're saying, careful with Dak. As news goes on, if he gets healthy and, do we worry about, because the feet are a weird thing, would you, on Underdog, would you take Lance at all as, a third quarterback or something if you have Dak Prescott, or would you just be going for someone else?
It's not that crazy of an idea. I think the only reason why I wouldn't is that, the odds are, it's kind of a cool stack in a way if you believe in Lance. If you don't believe in Lance, then don't do it.
Potential, yeah.
Yeah, let's say you draft Dak, I'm just throwing, I don't love Bryce Young from a fantasy perspective. Let's say you have Dak, Bryce Young, and you want another quarterback, but you got sniped. And you're like, I'm just going to pick somebody I don't even like. If you cuff Lance to Dak, then you're covered having a quarterback, most likely, unless they both got hurt, which, it could happen, but it's very low odds. Then you're covered at quarterback. You just need Bryce Young to stay healthy for that bye week, and then you're set. But I think there's probably 9 times out of 10 just a better quarterback than Lance. A starter, a guy that's going to get work. Or you take a big gamble on Fields. Or, I'd rather have Penix Jr. than have Lance, given they're both in the same situation because of the upside of Penix versus the unknown upside or downside of Trey Lance. I'm not saying I'm not rooting for him. If Lance was ever to get into the lineup, I'll be his biggest supporter in terms of hoping for him, but I'm not going to be biased with it. I'm going to be objective and say, look, I'm hoping, I'm rooting, but until we see some signs of him being fixed, because I think he was broken. Him and Fields are very broken players, and I just hope that Fields can get fixed. I think he will. Lance, I don't know. His time may have just gone, it passes. You have a certain window of opportunity, and then you're playing mind games with yourself. Lance is probably less far along in some ways than he was as a rookie. When he was in the game, starting, he won that playoff contention game, and he should have stayed in the lineup, and then Shanahan, dumb personnel decision maker that he is, puts Jimmy Garoppolo back in instead of leaving Lance's momentum going. That was Lance's best shot. What a stupid move. And it was Jimmy. It wasn't like you had somebody else, It was Jimmy. Jimmy Garoppolo is what you decided to punt your 3rd overall pick. You spent all that money and investment. He goes out there, wins a playoff contention game, has playoff implications, gets the team into the playoffs, and you pull him out, and you ruin his confidence. Then you send him out there on a halfback dive and injure him. And I don't want to hear... And I don't want to hear anybody say that, every quarterback runs and gets... This coach has one of the most aggressive schemes in the National Football League where you've got linebackers getting blocked by running backs and tight ends, and there's all kinds of different polling going on the line. So it does leave people more susceptible than injury than the average offense. I don't want to hear that players get hurt. That's totally not a good argument. The Niners are notorious for injuring running backs because of their system. Their system is just that way. And what do? Lance gets injured in the beginning of the game. What do you do at halftime when you've got 2 plays left? You want to run the clock out? You run Deebo Samuel. You got running backs. You run Deebo Samuel up the gut. You don't have Deebo kneel. You have him run up the gut, get smashed and hit, and then you kneel the ball and go to halftime. What is wrong with this coach? I know I go off on Shanahan constantly, but I get so fed up with him. All right, Bijan, what's
Can you?
Go ahead.
Yeah. You want to just clear this up? Robert was saying he thinks Bijan is a far better athlete or something along those lines, and CMC is. And I just said I put him on the same level of athlete. And Bijan, I'm not even talking about stats. Bijan still has to do it, but
yeah,
CMC. All I was saying is don't underestimate CMC's athletic ability.
Yeah,
he's an athletic.
Let's not get crazy here. Okay, look.
Yeah,
might Bijan
he's
pass
trying to
him?
take my Bijan card
Might the torch be passed? Might the baton be passed to Bijan this year? Yes. And might he be as good as CMC ever was? Sure. But for anybody to not give CMC his props, that's bias, madness, and you just hate Niner players. I have no hate for Niner players. I have no Niner bias from a fantasy football perspective. You could say I'm very, very biased against Shanahan. I'll take that one. I'll wear that one on my sleeve. But for somebody that's had Debo on the Moon Man list, Garendo is a midseason monster. I think still we like Ricky Pearsall's. Do we have him on the midseason or Moon Man? I forget. But I mean, we got 3 Niners on these boards here. Like, of course, I'm not against Niners. Everyone thinks I'm a Niner hater. I'm not. I'm just a Shanahan ruins things. Can't have nice things. Real quickly, let me go over to Harvest and then over to Ron and then back to Travis. Go ahead, Harvest.
Yeah, happy 4th of July.
Same
but I wanted to talk about Arthur Smith. Is there any sort of because I know you're really high on Najee, and I haven't heard you talk about Arthur Smith and his role on Najee's impact, and if he will have any type of role on his impact at all?
Bro, I think I'd be lying to you if I said I had a good handle on what's going to happen with that running stable. There's what we think should happen and what will happen. And given that Arthur Smith had the easiest decision in the history of decisions to start Bijan Robinson, who you drafted in the top 10. You drafted him in the top 10. Everybody knows he's a generational talent. Everybody knows you give him the ball 3 times and you're in the end zone from the 10-yard line out, or especially 4 times. And this man made him 3rd in the pecking order for goal line work. So to suggest just because we like this player or that player over, we have no clue what Arthur Smith is going to do. Even after, even if he's got a plan of attack now, it could change, I do know Warren looks really, really good right now. I think the duo is pretty solid in best ball because you don't have to make the decision. The optimal scoring shoves the highest scorer of the 2 into your lineup each week. So Najee and Warren could be a hidden pot of gold at the 70-80 mark in a fantasy football best ball draft. A hidden pot of gold, bro. Because if he screws around and puts Warren in there, it doesn't matter. You're fine. And I think the running game will succeed. They drafted 2 offensive linemen. They this team's doubling up on everything. Quarterbacks, offense. This is like NASA up in here. 2 plans for everything. Backup plan for the backup plan. Like it's gonna be solid. But in redraft, I'm gonna back the train up a little bit and say I'm a little petrified, like a petrified Peter, to explore this weekly and try to make a guess as to what's gonna happen. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it at the right cost, but I think there could be in redraft in non-best ball, there might be a scenario where I'm going in a different direction and hitting the Najee and Warren combos in best ball. It's just smarter.
Right. I do have one more quick question on redraft or best ball. If T-Law is going to be successful and the wide receiver room's not deep on the Jacksonville, is it with Christian Kirk? Is it more of like the price that we're buying him at that you don't like, or
the wide receivers are not
Christian
deep
Kirk
in Jacksonville? What do you mean by that? I mean, I like the.
Meaning I love Brian Thomas. I've been watching his, just watching his tape, seeing like what he's good at, what he's not good at. Like he's gonna replace Calvin Ridley's role. We all like him, of course, but just Christian Kirk in general. When people draft him, you're a little bit lower on Christian Kirk, and I was just curious, like, if T-Law is gonna be successful, I'm trying to see why Christian Kirk would be.
I'm not like on the T, like as much as I love T-Law, I look at T-Law like I look at Trey Lance. Like I'll be rooting for him. Like I love T-Law. I love him.
Right.
I'm hoping. And look at Jared Goff. Like 4 years ago, if I asked you if Jared Goff is good, you're gonna be like, yeah. And now everyone loves Jared Goff. Like T-Law's got a lot of time to like change the narrative and get better. And he's not going anywhere. Like he's not playing elite football, but he's not going anywhere. He's had probably the worst hand dealt to him. Basically, his rookie year, he got handed a coach that was an idiot, and they had to start completely over, change their system on him again. And he's been really handed a raw end of the deal. So I'm very hopeful that T-Law can take a big step forward. He was like QB 2 and 5 and 8 in a very tight window of games last year during certain parts of the season. So we know he's capable of greatness, but like top 5 greatness, probably not. But I think he's capable of being a top 7 to 10 quarterback in the league. He definitely, like him and Purdy, I see as very, could have very similar values in fantasy and for their teams. Like Brock Purdy and the Niner fans are going to be like, what? Oh my God! I can't believe he said that. I like Purdy, but Purdy's 7 to 10. Purdy's not a top 5 quarterback. Don't even get me started on that crap. He's a 7 to 12 quarterback, which is very good. That's very good. That's giving him props. Only a Niner fan with goggles this thick is going to take that offensively. T-Law's 7 to 12, which is could be very good. But so are a lot of other quarterbacks in that territory. Purdy's not Patrick Mahomes. Purdy's not Jalen Hurts. Purdy's not Josh Allen. He's not AR5. He's not JD5. He's not Lamar Jackson. You could argue one or two of these guys will get hurt or whatever. I'm fine with that. I'm not like getting all crazy about the order. I'm just saying there's no room for Brock Purdy or T-Law in the top 5 or 6 QBs. It's just not. But as for your question, Christian Kirk just goes too high for me.
Right.
He's pretty good though. Like I'll admit that Kirk might be my player that I ignore that continues to deliver. I can at least be honest with that and say that it's not like a great pick feeling. Like you get a little bit of that like vomit in your mouth and then it ends up delivering. Kind of like TJ Lockett.
Right. Like
Lockett's always felt like just a bad pick, but he does well. And then same thing with like Amari Cooper for me. I'll say, I don't want to call these guys my kryptonite, but Amari Cooper and Christian Kirk I undervalue and I admit it. So if you like him at the cost of entry, go for it. With me, it's not about hating Christian Kirk. It's just liking a handful of players better around his ADP. That's usually what it is. A lot of people try and say, Smitty, why do you hate Kirk? Why do you not like Kirk? I don't not like any of these players. I just like 5 or 6 players better. That's all it is. All right, hold on. Let me go back to
entry. That's kind of what I thought it was. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Let me go back over to Ron. Ron, you're live. I'm wearing down. Hello, Ron.
Hey.
What's up?
Yeah, I had to take you out.
How's that steak? We know you're cooking a steak tonight. Don't lie to us.
I didn't. No, I went down to the store. I was lazy today. I went down to the stores. They had some smoked chicken down there. Got some of that. I got
no steak on the 4th of July.
Did I say TJ Lockett? I meant Tyler Lockett. Thank you. Yeah, Go ahead, Ron.
I got a rotisserie chicken. I got smoked chicken. I got chicken tenders. But I did get some snow crab legs and a couple 3-ounce lobster tails from Maine, from Travis's area.
Nice. I've eaten probably a handful of food in the last like 50 hours. I've lost like 8 pounds.
Soup. Yeah, you need soup.
I'm just not hungry.
Chicken noodle.
I'm just hydrating.
Yeah, but the main thing for you is fluid and electrolytes. You're going to lose electrolytes, so you need those electrolytes.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Keep this mini. I'm gonna get off here.
All right, bro.
Do your phone calls. I know you don't.
All right, man.
Hope you start feeling better. You're in my prayers.
All right, thanks.
Love you.
Thanks, Ron. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for the super chat. Later.
Later, Ron.
Travis, any final thoughts? I don't know. I don't know that I'm hanging up yet, but I think I'm gonna clear the phone line.
Yeah, no, I'll let you get going. That's cool. Hope you feel better, Shay.
Yeah, thanks. I'm sure I'll be better tomorrow. All right, later. Appreciate you.
All right.
Harvest, you have a final thought before I hang up on you?
No, I'm just hanging out, man. Y'all have a 4th of July.
All right, happy 4th, man. We'll see you later. All right. How long have we been live? 40 minutes? It felt like 8 hours. I don't mean that in a bad way, people. It feels like 8 hours. It feels like I've been sitting here for 8 hours. God, Lord help us if breaking news happens. That'll be truly my flu game. This is kind of my flu game, but if I got to come live again on breaking news, it'll truly be my flu game because I'm going to be exhausted. So, please don't sign a contract tonight, Brandon Aiyuk. Don't get traded tonight, Brandon Aiyuk. Let's see if there's any news out there right now. Let's see if there's anything. Steve McNair. Oh, man, that's 15 years ago today. Steve McNair lost his life. That's crazy when you think about it. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. We already covered that. I don't think Cam Newton was mistakenly. People thought he was Jay-Z at the airport. He was pretty pissed off about that. Everyone's like, "What's up, Jay-Z?" And he did not. He was not happy. More. You've seen the photo. I got it on screen of Dak Prescott with the walking boot. That's pretty much it. There's not much going on at all in the news world right now. Bijan, we covered Bijan. Jordan Love, we covered Jordan Love. That Josh Jacobs says he's going to be an elite quarterback in this league. Remember how many people gave up on Bijan Jordan Love? God, I can't even think. We're going to be doing the waiver wire show very, very soon. Where's our waiver wire? I want to say it's right here. So this was week 15 waiver wire show. Who's on this? Jaden Reed, Spears. Look at that. Zamir White. We were pumping that up for weeks. Still available in way too many leagues in week 15. Stafford was available. Likely was really good. It got thin in week 15. But anyway, we'll be doing our first preemptive waiver wire show. I hope tomorrow, if I'm feeling good enough to record that. If not, it'll probably be this weekend. And what that entails is essentially in a preemptive waiver wire show, we're talking about, players that you want to draft so you're not here in week 2 going, damn, I should have drafted him. It's alerting you to the guys you need to draft and not overlook. And a dynasty spin to say right now, pick these guys up and taxi squad them or pick them up. And here's a cool strategy, like a drafting of Garendo, and then you have Mitchell on your bench, and now you kind of have the backup. I mean, Jordan Mason could throw a monkey wrench in that situation, but that's an interesting backup running back strategy. So we'll be attacking the week 1 waiver wire preemptive style. We got super chats here. Let me sit up. Oh God. Because you're a beast. Thank you, Deckard, for the $10 holler.
To the moon.
Deckard is my man. Deckard, appreciate you. I appreciate you, Deckard. Thanks, pal. Jonathan. Dynasty Superflex just got offered Eckler and DK for Pittman and JMO. I take Eckler and that's tough, man. I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat on this one? The problem with this one is DK's by far my favorite player in the entire lot. But is Pittman close enough to say, give me the odds of JMO? Maybe. I don't know. I love DK a lot. I almost want to say no, just because Eckler can be relatively solid this year. And I know he probably will have very little value at all next year. What are we thinking? What's this say? Smitty. I like the little fast slot dude from Vegas, Trey Tucker. Yeah, we'll have some more when we deep dive into some of the problem is he's in Las Vegas. Who's doing well there besides Bowers? Getting safety net production, you know what I mean? I don't know. And Zamir. I mean, we like Zamir. I hope Michael Mayer gets traded. I lean DK on here. I lean DK. As much as I think Pittman's a good value, in this trade, because you're getting J-Mo as well, I'm going to lean DK, especially if you can put somebody into the lineup. How do you think J.J. McCarthy compared to Purdy? This is a really good, if Sick Nasty's in here, this is a really good question that gives you some optimism, for McCarthy. Did anybody think that Purdy was going to be elite before he went into the game? I don't want to say elite. Sorry, he's not elite, but was going to play really well. Like he played elite last year for the most part. He did, but he's surrounded by talent. He is a system guy to a degree, but he's also more than that. But if you take Trent Williams or McCaffrey out of the lineup, he turns into a different player. It's not his fault, but the system and situation are attached to him, so like you can't judge him. But what happens in a year or two when he doesn't have Christian McCaffrey? I would say, but this question makes you say, like, okay, if we didn't see Purdy doing as well as he did, who's to say McCarthy can't? You know what I mean? I'm not banking on it. I do not like McCarthy, but to give like Sick Nasty or anybody hope that's hoping he turns out to be something great, you never know until these guys get into the system and start delivering. He's a great character kid. Like Drake May and especially J.J. McCarthy are quality character people. Like that's what you want out of your quarterback. So much more professional and what you want as your QB leadership wise than like a Caleb Williams, who's like a 3 out of 10 in terms of leadership. J.J. McCarthy's probably an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10. May's probably an 8 out of 10. We'll see. We'll probably see more of that leadership. Now, they can't lead much because they're rookies and no one's going to respect them yet, but I'm just saying I can tell they've got leadership qualities. Smitty, can I take a lap for Bijan? Smitty, can I take a lap? Yes, you can, Rock Out. You can take the lap for all of us. I can't run any laps today anyway. Damn, it Las Vegas, you might have lost Smitty. Maybe. You want me to be honest with you right now? I'm always honest. I don't know, man. I might change my mind later, but I was already like feeling like I hate being away. I love doing my show in my studio. And then now I get sick. I felt like I wanted to die last night. It was so bad. I was just like, please don't wake up. It was so bad. I was sweating like crazy. I just set my pillow aside for 2.5 hours so I could use it again. It was so drenched. CMC makes Purdy better. That's right. Okay, I think I've got the super chats out of the way. Celebratory messages. Roger with his 21 month. You're almost getting a Saturn emoji, bro. Smitty, hardest worker her working man in the industry, hands down. Thank you, Roger. Appreciate your gifted or your celebratory message. Feel better. I can't even read. I don't even know what I'm doing. Feel better, Smitty. I recommend Ezekiel 4.9. Brett. Oh, I thought you meant Zeke Elliott. I'm like, fourth round, Phil. What are we doing, bro? Where my mind went straight to Zeke Elliott. And I thought, damn, boy, you like Zeke a lot. Jonathan W., appreciate you celebrating your 17-month. You're close to a Saturn emoji. Just wanted to say thanks for everything and feel better. Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate you spending your celebratory emoji on me, or your celebratory message on me. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you, Ron Navy, for the 20, Superfish, Deckard, Jonathan, Rock Out, and Justin Rush for dropping fire. Let's do this real quick because I want to try and go an hour. We got 12 minutes. Let's see if we can do. Let's play a little game. Where is that board? Okay, so let's play which side. Somebody give me a handful of ideas. I don't know that I'm going to use every one of yours because I can barely read right now, but someone give me a really tantalizing, gripping, amazing scenario, and let's vote on this bad boy. Will Smitty survive 12 more minutes? I'm gonna say probably not. I don't even know what button to hit.
Get loud.
somebody gifting memberships here? Who gifted 5 memberships? New Age Outlaws gifted 5 memberships. What an absolute monster you are. I can't stand up. I'm sorry. I can't stand up. I'm sorry, bro. What are we doing here? What button am I hitting? I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm at right now. I don't know what I'm doing. J85 finishes as a top 10. That's a good prediction, but we need players on each side of this. Eckler or Pollard? I don't know, bro. That one's okay. Let's try it. Eckler or Pollard. We'll put Pollard over here. We'll put Eckler over here. And we will see which side I like. As much as I want to say Pollard, I think that the run game's going to get game scripted out for the Tennessee Titans a lot. I'm not saying the Titans don't have a good situation for the wide receivers. I'm not saying that I don't think they could throw the ball a ton. I think they can, and Levis was like one of the very best in the league in 20-plus yard throws last year because they were playing from behind and because he can throw far. I just think with Tajay Spears locked into the receiving game, that limits Pollard out of the gate. So at the end of the day, give me Eckler, who looks phenomenal right now, by the way. I know we want to write this guy off completely, but at cost of entry, I'm back in. I would never draft him like in the 3rd or 4th round like we're doing with Henry and, you know, other older guys like Kupp, but this guy's practically free. So I'm going to go Eckler, and it's pretty easy, to be honest with you, bro. It's not close. And it doesn't mean I don't wish Pollard the best and that I won't, you know, be here rooting for him if he does turn it around. Kyren or London in round 2? This is a good question because of the ADPs, right? You know, like Kyron's got a 3rd round ADP, but that's not going to happen everywhere. Like in your mom and pop league, I think people will draft Kyren in the 2nd round. In best ball, I try and use ADP to my advantage and get London and Kyren. But where London's going, that means you have a late 3rd. Probably not going to get Kyren late 3rd. So, I mean, this is going to sound crazy, but like in a vacuum, if there's no considering ADP, of course, please don't draft Kyren at 2.2, 2.1, 2.3, where London goes. But at the end of the day, I want Kyren. You know, I mean, you could say what you want, but I'm certainly going to take advantage of his ADP. Those of you that draft him in the 2nd when you don't need to, I'm going to disown you. I'm going to disown you and take away your Bijan card.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
This is a good one by Wild Bill. Keon Coleman and BT. I love this one. This is solid. BT and Coleman. Thomas Jr. This is a really good one. What do you guys say? Drop it in the chat. Man, this is a tough one. I'd probably say I love both of them. But give me Coleman. Coleman's the number 1. Thomas is probably the number 1, but sharing the role. And, you know, there is some, the correct answer, Joel, is right. It's like both. But if I had to pick, I would pick the guy that's in position to be the number 1 wide receiver for his team. In an offense that is thought to be, in my opinion, with the Cardinals, the best landing spot for a wide receiver in the entire NFL draft class. Or the entire 2024 NFL draft. The Cardinals and the Bills were the best landing spot, and Coleman got it. You know, Thomas is in a good spot, but it's close. I think that Joel's answer is the correct one. It's both of them. All right, we're at 54 minutes. God, that seemed like the longest 6 minutes of my life. Holler Gibbs. That's a good one, Rock Out. I'm going to put it up because, you know, it's poor man problem or rich man problems. Holler Gibbs, but this one's tough. Like, I think it's probably going to be Breece Hall, but there is an argument to be made here that I want both of them, and they're equal to me. The thing about these guys' ADPs is that, you know, one of them is going a lot. Well, not a lot. One of them is going at like the 11, 12 turn, and that's Gibbs. And the other one goes around 6, 7, 8, 9. Sometimes later, but usually not. So the ADP discrepancy makes you want to go Hall every time, right? But, I mean, there was no better running back in the National Football League but Christian McCaffrey last year from week 7 on. And we can't judge Gibbs for anything that he did in 2023 before week 7. And this is Monty's stats lined up next to him. So you can see where Monty came back after the bye week, and he was some of his most productive football. Number 2 running back scoring, number 3 in running back scoring, number 3 in running back scoring, number 3 in running back scoring. But from week 7 on, only Christian McCaffrey was tied with Jahmyr Gibbs as being the best running back in the league. 6 top 3 finishes in week 7 through 17. In week 7 through 17, Christian McCaffrey and Jahmyr Gibbs had 6 top 3 running back finishes. You can say what you want about Monty. Monty's irrelevant. I said that to you last year. Monty's irrelevant. Now, I was a little bit wrong in the first 6 weeks of the season. But I ended up being correct that once he was in the lineup, Monty did not impact Jahmyr Gibbs at all. Proof by having 4 top 3 running back finishes from the bye week on when Monty was back and doing productive things. So stop with your Monty's going to not go away. Monty, we hope Monty doesn't go away. We need Gibbs to have some relief. But Gibbs is an absolute marvel. And his stats from last year, I got to get these out of the way. Running back 10, 11 touchdowns, didn't play really from weeks 1 to 6. Literally almost didn't play weeks 1 to 6. He was running back 10. 945 yards, 10 touchdowns. Easy 12 or 1,300 yards, 5.5 a carry instead of 5.2. 12 touchdowns instead of his 11 total. Or his 10, he had 10 total last year, so 12 this year. 4 receiving instead of 1. This guy's going to have at least a 14, 15, 16 touchdown season. So back to the question at hand, which is a very good one. The truth of the matter is that both these guys, I want both of them. If there was ever an answer where it was both, it's this one. I wish I could give you an answer, but I can't. I want one in one league and one in the other. If I've got 2 identical drafts going on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Links in the description. Links pinned in the live chat. I'm smashing both of them, one in each league. Smitty approved both of them.
You've just been Smitty approved.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what are we at? 58. God, 2 more minutes. This feels like forever. I want to hit 60-minute show. I don't want to be under an hour. That's for quitters. You're not first, you're last. I'm not a quitter. I would take Bijan and Gibbs. Bijan's a machine. Bijan there's an argument for Bijan to go number 1 overall. There really is. You can say no. There really is an argument for Bijan 1 overall. Addison or 80 Mitchell. I'm going to say 80 Mitchell for me. Fireworks going nuts right now. God, the 3-year-old and the dog are going to go crazy once he start firing off. I'm getting a little hungry. I haven't eaten anything for a while. But when I eat like a bird now. I lost like 8 pounds. I haven't eaten anything really of substance. We ordered Culver's a little while ago, and I got 2 chicken strips, and I took 4 fries from Miss Smitty, and I ate 1 of the chicken strips, and that was it. That's all I've had all day long. I've been drinking water and vitamin water all day. But good little weight loss situation. I'm God, another 30 seconds. God, that was the longest minute of my life. We got a super chat coming in. Normally this show flies for me, but I'm just so exhausted. Justin, Josh Allen plus Curtis Samuel or Justin Herbert versus Palmer. Bro, not even close, man. Come on, Justin. Justin. Bro, I'd rather have Josh Allen in, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a wide receiver later, like A.D. Mitchell or I don't know, like a Luke McCaffrey, you know, somebody that's free, you know. So Josh Allen over Herbert and Palmer, like this is one of the easiest questions I've probably ever been asked in my entire life. You know, it's easier to answer your question than, hey, do you want to eat this, you know, 2-month-old meatloaf that Ma cooked that's been on the counter for 2 months? I'm answering your question quicker than I'm answering that question. Hey, Smitty, want to walk through this crop dusting from Karen? Or do you not? I'm answering your trade question quicker than I'm answering that question. Human Ziggy says Smitty doesn't even like meatloaf. That's true. He asked me when we're in line. He says, Smitty, we were in line getting food, and I bought a French dip. And he's like, look, they got meatloaf. And I'm like, I don't like meatloaf. And he looked so shocked. I was like, I just say that. I don't really like meatloaf. Human Ziggy was really confused. Human Ziggy won the coolest prize at the Scott Fish Bowl with the raffle tickets. He bought $25 worth of tickets for the kids. Great job, Human Ziggy. And he got the coolest prize from the raffle. It was a signed bottle of the Breaking Bad actors, Aaron Paul, and God, I'm so out of it. I can't even think of names. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. I can't even think of it. Heisenberg. What the hell is his name? I can't even think of it right now. Someone help me. Anyway, the two main actors of Breaking Bad. I got a flu. I can't think. They signed this bottle. It's their alcohol. They go around and all over bars. Bryan Cranston, thank you. Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul signed this bottle of liquor. It's their liquor. They go around to bars all over the country and give out their autographed bottles of liquor. It's their liquor company, and he won. It was amazing. It was such a cool prize. He was like a kid at the candy store. He was never seen him so excited in his life. He almost turned human. He almost turned human. Say my name. Say my name. You're damn right. Jesse. Do I have a Heisenberg? Do we have a Heisenberg animation? I think I do somewhere. No, I don't have it here. I'll find it later. All right, I'll see you all later. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you to my super chatters. Thank you to my gifted members. Thank you to all of you. Those are some F-16s flying overhead. All right, peace out. Later. Say my name. What button do I want to hit here? How about
Once upon a time, Trey McBride saw two quarterbacks cross streams.
There are 2 5s?
they're gonna cross streams?
He worked effortlessly trying to accomplish this feat on his own. Then, one day, he crossed his 4th and 5th round average draft position. And then, this occurred. Get McBride.
but the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10.
Hi, my name is Bijan Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring.
Liftoff of mission 3, 2, 1, 0.
Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, rain or shine, flu, game or not. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Flu game or not. Your boy's here. Your boy's here no matter what. Flu game or not. I'm so weak. Hopefully breaking news doesn't occur. I'll be back here. Deuces.